This is our driving review of the all-new Mazda 3. Let's go! One main design scheme of the Mazda 3 is it shows more sportiness. Will it also hold this promise in driving? We'll find out later, but you can clearly see this front grille with a shiny black structure and is actually very large. It's not only featuring in the sports version, this is also the same case for the base version. With 4 meters 45, 14 foot 6 or 175 inches, this new Mazda 3 is actually not longer than the previous generation. I think they have a very beautiful sporty design here in the rear, especially also with the LED light right there in this evening mood. To open the hatch, by the way, the button is right here below the Mazda logo. We'll show you that right soon. They have used an all-new chassis, promising more stiffness. Of course, we'll find out in the driving part what that one will deliver. And now to the sedan, which has a little bit different front grille because it had rather this comp style in the hatch, and here it is more a horizontal layout with those different dots. So very interesting. It looks a little bit more elegant. The color here, by the way, is machine gray. With 4 meters 66 or 183 inches, the sedan is 20 centimeters longer than the hatch. And this new generation of the sedan is also 8 centimeters longer than the predecessor sedan, whereas the hatch remains same in length. So you'll have a little bit more room on the sedan here. Nice play of colors and reflections here now with the light. Well, the back of the sedan is not as sporty as the one of the hatch, also without the black contrast in the lower part, but those tail lamps are now more horizontally drawn, so it gets some more sportiness here in the new generation. As for the engines, this one here today is the Skyactiv-G, the naturally aspirated petrol engine, 122 horsepower, 2 liter of displacement. Well, it is also a mild hybrid system, 24 volt. Interesting, well, you cannot really feel that while driving, but will it have an effect on the consumption? We will find out later. And there's also a 1.8 liter diesel with 116 horsepower, all front-wheel drive, by the way, and there will also be the new Skyactiv-X, the 2 liter engine with 181 horsepower, then also optional with all-wheel drive. And that Skyactiv-X is really interesting. I can just tell you shortly about it, because the Skyactiv-X will be a mixture basically of petrol and diesel, because, well, it is a petrol engine with self-ignition. Let's see how that one plays out at a later stage. This one here also interesting with the base petrol engine, because this one will be bought quite a lot, since it is also way cheaper than the Skyactiv-X. This is the new car key. Here we go. Open and close at the side. This one doesn't feel that good from a tactile feeling. However, the rest of the interior does. And you can be really excited about it, because here we got a soft touch at the inside of the doors, then some leatherette cover here at the inside right there, again some leatherette here, fabric right there. Then you can see also some, nicer finish now for the automatic window levers. Not too much space at the inside of the doors, however. And then also here the complete new interior. You can see a new steering wheel with a sporty style, like an MX-5. Also here, from the material finish, they even have clicking sound here at the steering wheel. and also a nice finish as for the materials. So some parts are really premium, like I have to say. Now let's get inside. You sit actually really low, so it feels like a sporty seating position. You can also put the seat in the lowest position right there. I'm 1.86 m or 6'1", and that leaves me still some headroom right there. This is a car here without a panoramic roof, so you can compare that. So also tall people are actually just fine here in the front. The steering wheel can be adjusted manual like this. It's a smooth process as well. But unmistakably, the car says this is a sports car, a sports compact car. Although it's just a base version. But, you know, the position here and also the design on the exterior, the design on the interior, everything says I'm a sporty vehicle. And of course, we will be excited if this will also work while driving the vehicle. Interior overview, again, a massive step forward in build quality. Soft touch at the top part here, then a leatherette cover. This new 8.8-inch screen is really interesting. It always comes with that one. And I found it so annoying if manufacturers do like 3 different sizes for screens. That's it. That's it. Really good decision. And the instruments, soon also a close-up to that, because this is also interesting, 7-inch screen on the inside, and then analog parts on the outside. And again, a perspective on the new steering wheel with very nice quality buttons. Again, also the tactile feeling when you press them. Same counts here for the climate unit, with a metal knurling around that. So you can see the Apple CarPlay connection, Android Auto is also available, and both standard. This is really cool again. And the Bose sound system is actually quite cool. So a nice surround sound for that compact vehicle. The instrument cluster you can see on the right and left side, all analog, and all chrome rings are also analog. And then when you turn on the ignition, you can see that the middle display is digital, and that you can then change, for example, a big digital speed, or, you know, assistant system info, or then this, you know, digital analog gauge, let's call it that way. 6-speed manual gearbox, really cool to put in the gears. It's a short shifting lever also, sporty and crisp, well done. One of the things not so well done, that sound then from the inside of the doors when you open them here, especially at the rear. However, other things are very well done. For example, also soft touch here at the inside of the doors in the rear. We hardly see that with cars nowadays. Even in premium mid-size cars, it is sometimes not the case. So well done as for this respect. Well, then, when I have the driver's seat to my seating position, it does somehow still fit, but I hit my knees here at the front seat. In this case, it's soft at the back, so it's better than when we would have a hard cover. Now to the hatch, again the button below here. We also put a suitcase in there as a sample that you can see what fits in. Well, those hatches have the problem that they have a high loading sill. It goes down then. Below there's the sound equipment, for example, mounted right there. And the length here you can see is some 85 centimeters. It's actually quite okay. And the width is just about a meter. The limiting factor is, due to the design, the height. And this is here at 45 centimeters. Well, you see the trunk goes quite deep down. That is then basically making up a little bit for the height you lose due to the design here with the flat windows. So overall height is okay. You just have to put things deep down right there. The interior of the sedan is of course not really different. It's just that here there's also a bright trim. I really like this styling. You have a bright leatherette here at the inside of the doors. Also at the top dashboard, left and right. Really looks very cool and brings some more light in the interior. Also there is a bright ceiling. The styling idea is actually quite nice, but the same, steering wheel and also instruments. So this one will be just the same hatch and sedan. Also the front seating position, I can also take a look at that, but I expect nothing different. The only, it's totally the same. Now let's get in the rear. This will be very exciting. Is there any difference to the hatch? And you see that the legroom is actually not really different. Headroom is also very close, so it's, because of that roof, there's a lower area here, then it goes up in the rear part again, and I can put my hand over my head, but in this case again, doesn't make too much of a difference if you have the hatch or the sedan. As for the rear legroom, both, and for the headroom, I even felt that the headroom was a little bit better in the hatch. So yeah, we can see that the additional length of the sedan went all the way into the trunk. So whereas we had 85 centimeters in trunk length with the hatch, we have 1 meters 05 in trunk length with the sedan. And if you flip down the seats, you can even have a length of 1 meters 85. So that's the biggest advantage then of the sedan. You cannot load in and out things that easily here. Same thing, but then again, it is way longer and therefore also has more liter volume. And now to Thomas's driving lounge with the all-new Mazda 3. That's what you have all been waiting for, and of course also myself. So this new chassis promises us more stiffness, also new suspension. Well, there has been some, criticism about the suspension in advance. Might it be a downgrade, but how does it feel? We'll clear that right now. And this engine here for today is the 2-liter petrol engine, 22 horsepower. Let's see about that. Yes, they still use big displacement figures, low horsepower figures. I like that. No turbo, so you have to push a little bit harder, but you can also drive it calm and also, let's say, linear without this very exponential acceleration then of a turbo. And to me, higher displacement figure with lower horsepower also promises more durability. And interestingly, it's a compact vehicle, it's not a hot hatch yet, rather with a base suspension, with the base engine petrol, but it feels already so sporty. It's a little bit like an MX-5. Not at that low and extreme, of course, but you really feel that, So you sit very low, the seating position is more comfortable than the predecessor. At the same time, you also feel somewhat sporty. You have this dark interior where you feel a little bit caged in, so it almost feels like a sports car. And now to motorway driving the new Mazda 3. This is also particularly interesting because so many people will do that. And here it's about, acceleration, overtaking, it's about assistance systems, and it's about noise insulation. Let me start with the last point. So, for example, a louder car next to us, and definitely if you compare it to the predecessor model, this one is way more silent. So they have really significantly improved the noise insulation. I have already experienced that with the prototype vehicle we've been driving last year, and they also transported that over here into the final series production model. I'm glad they did that. So, and together with this whole more refined feeling from the interior, we talked about it in the interior part, this really gives you, I would say, almost a premium feeling of driving this vehicle. Some smelly parts, you feel or have the sense that the car is new. I think they should try to reduce that a little bit. But everything you touch and feel and see is really good. Also, when you control the car while driving, all the buttons, for example, here for the cruise control, I've set it at the moment. The autonomous emergency brake is from standard equipment. Overall, it was really fun to drive that vehicle. You just have to be aware of, if you expect that sporty ride, then it's exactly the right car for you. But if you expect more, let's say, long-term motorway comfort and so on, then it might not be the right focus. But clearly, they've taken a decision, and I think it's also good if they have taken one exact decision right there. So, the exterior, it did promise a sporty car, and the driving experience also delivered that. What do you think about the all-new Mazda 3? Let's discuss this car in the comments, and please also join us next time.